Hey, English learners! Welcome back to the LeapTalk English Podcast, your cozy little place to learn easy English through real, everyday conversations. I'm Mary.
And I'm Albert.
Albert, I want to start today with a question.
Go ahead.
Is there something you have been meaning to say to someone you care about, that you haven't said yet?
Yes. Actually, yes.
What is stopping you?
The usual thing. I know what I want to say. I know it needs to be said. And every time I get close to saying it, I think, what if this changes something?
What if saying it damages what you have?
Exactly. So I keep waiting for the right moment, and the right moment keeps not arriving.
Because the right moment for a difficult conversation almost never arrives on its own.
It doesn't. You have to make it.
And making it requires something most people don't have. Not the courage, necessarily. The words.
The specific, honest, careful words for saying something real to someone you love, without it feeling like an attack.
And that is today's whole episode. The English of difficult conversations with the people who matter most to you.
I'm Albert.
I'm Mary. LeapTalk English, B2 level, real conversation. Today, the English of saying difficult things to people you love. Word tour at the end, 8 words. And our Say It Better segment, turning closed, avoided sentences into something that can actually be said.
Like instead of saying, I just don't bring it up.
You can say, I've been holding this back because I don't want to hurt them.
And instead of saying, I don't know how to start.
You can say, I'm looking for the opening that makes it feel safe to say.
If you're learning English with us today, just relax into the conversation. This episode is great for B1 and B2 learners. If you're A2, you can still follow the main idea.
Listen for the feeling. Repeat the useful lines, and stay with us.
Mary, I want to start with something honest. Why is it harder to say difficult things to the people we love than to people we don't know well?
That seems backwards, doesn't it?
It really does. You'd think the people you're closest to would be the easiest to be honest with.
But I think the closeness is exactly what makes it harder.
Because the stakes are higher.
Yes. When you say something difficult to a stranger, the worst that can happen is a brief, awkward moment. When you say something difficult to someone you love, the relationship itself is in the room.
The relationship is listening.
Exactly. And that weight, the weight of what the relationship means to you, changes how you speak, or whether you speak at all.
So we stay silent not because we don't care, but because we care too much.
And the silence feels like protection. For them, for you, for the relationship.
But the silence isn't actually protection, is it?
No, the silence is delay. The thing that needs to be said doesn't go away because it wasn't said. It waits, and usually it grows.
Into resentment, into distance, into the quiet accumulation of unsaid things.
I had exactly that experience last year, with someone very close to me. Something had been bothering me for months, and I kept not saying it.
What happened?
The unsaid things started to change how I was with them. Small withdrawals, a certain flatness in how I answered their messages. Things I didn't even notice until they asked, "Are you okay? You seem a bit far away."
And then you had to explain the unsaid thing anyway, but now from a position of having already withdrawn.
Which was much harder than just saying it the first time would have been.
The silence that was supposed to protect the relationship had already started to damage it.
That's the real cost of not saying the difficult thing.
The relationship is in the room. When a conversation has weight because the person matters to you, the silence is delay, not protection. The unsaid thing doesn't disappear. The quiet accumulation of unsaid things. What silence costs over time. I seemed a bit far away. The visible sign of an inner withdrawal. 4 phrases for naming what happens when the difficult thing doesn't get said. Stay, because the next part covers what most people get wrong when they finally do try to say the difficult thing.
What do most people get wrong when they try to have a difficult conversation with someone they love? The timing. The timing? They wait until they're already frustrated, until the feeling has been building for weeks and finally arrives at the surface loud and pressurized, and the conversation that needed to be calm and careful comes out heated instead.
Because the words have been waiting too long.
Yes, when you wait until you're frustrated, the first sentence does too much work. It carries weeks of waiting, and it sounds like it.
And the other person hears the weeks of waiting, not the message.
Exactly. They hear the frustration, they become defensive, and the conversation becomes about the tone rather than the thing that needed to be said.
So the first thing to get right is don't wait until it's urgent. Say it when it's still quiet.
When you still have gentleness available.
When you still have gentleness available. That's such a useful way to think about it.
Because gentleness is a resource, and like any resource, it depletes under pressure.
The second thing most people get wrong?
The opening. Most people open with the problem rather than with the relationship.
What does that mean?
It means starting with the thing that happened, rather than starting with, I'm saying this because I value this.
So the listener hears the complaint first before they've heard why you're having the conversation at all.
And when the first thing someone hears is a complaint, even a gentle one, they prepare to defend.
Whereas if the first thing they hear is, I care about this relationship, and that's why I'm saying this,
then they can receive what follows differently.
the opening changes everything.
The opening is everything.
To the listener, say it when you still have gentleness available, before frustration turns the words into pressure. Open with the relationship, not the problem. The first sentence should carry care, not complaint. The listener hears the tone before they hear the message, which is why timing and opening matter so much. 3 principles for the moment before the difficult thing gets said.
Stay, because the next part gives you the actual sentences, the real English you can use. The actual sentences, because knowing the principles is one thing, having the words in the moment is another.
Completely different.
So let me give you the sentences, the real usable English for the beginning, the middle, and the close of a difficult conversation with someone you love.
The beginning.
Can I say something that's been on my mind? I want to say it well, so bear with me. This opener does 3 things. It asks for a moment of attention, it signals something real is coming, and bear with me, meaning please be patient with me as I try to find the right words, signals vulnerability rather than confrontation.
Bear with me is such a useful phrase. It takes the pressure off both people.
Yes, it says, I'm trying to get this right, and I'm asking you to be part of that with me.
Another beginning. I've been wanting to say this for a while. I kept waiting for the right moment, and I think I've been waiting too long.
That opening is honest about the delay, which actually disarms defensiveness. It shows you didn't say it impulsively. The middle, what to do when you're saying the actual thing. When this happened, I felt, followed by the honest feeling. Not when you did this, you made me feel. When this happened, I felt. The difference is enormous. One points at the action, one points at the person. Pointing at the action keeps the conversation open. Pointing at the person closes it.
Always lead with the feeling, not the blame. I know you didn't mean it this way, and the impact was. Separating intention from impact, already covered in an earlier episode, worth returning to here. Acknowledging their likely intention before naming the effect it had.
This sentence is one of the most important in any difficult conversation. It says, I'm not accusing you of wanting to hurt me. I'm telling you what happened when you did this thing you probably didn't mean to cause.
The close, how to end a difficult conversation in a way that keeps the relationship intact.
I'm saying this because I want us to be okay, not because I want to make things difficult.
The intention stated clearly, after the difficult thing has been said, so the other person doesn't leave with only the content, they leave with the context too.
And often, being heard is enough to begin with.
To the listener, can I say something that's been on my mind? Bear with me. I've been waiting for the right moment, and I think I've been waiting too long. When this happened, I felt. I know you didn't mean it this way, and the impact was. I'm saying this because I want us to be okay. We don't have to resolve this now. I just needed you to know. 6 sentences. The beginning, the middle, and the close.
I want to say something about what happens after, because the difficult conversation doesn't end when the words are said.
No, it continues in how you sit with the aftermath.
Yes, and I think people underestimate how uncomfortable the afterwards feels, even when the conversation went well.
Why?
Because you've made yourself visible. You said the real thing, and until you know how it landed, there is a period of not knowing that is genuinely uncomfortable.
The waiting.
The waiting. And in the waiting, especially if you're a person who tends towards self-doubt, the voice that says you shouldn't have said it gets quite loud.
I know that voice.
I think most people do. What if they're upset? What if I said it wrong? What if the relationship is different now?
And those questions are natural. They're part of caring.
But they're not usually predictions of what's actually going to happen.
No, they're the discomfort of having been honest speaking.
And the honest thing, the hard true thing that needed to be said, almost never damages a good relationship.
It might change it, but changing isn't damaging.
A relationship that can hold a difficult, honest conversation is stronger than one that never had to hold anything.
That's what the difficult conversation is really for.
Not to wound, to deepen.
To the listener, the discomfort of having been honest speaking.
what the aftermath of a difficult conversation feels like. Changing isn't the same as damaging. A relationship that shifts after honesty is often stronger. Not to wound, to deepen. The real purpose of saying the difficult thing to someone you love. And now let's slow down and practice 8 useful words from today's conversation. Our first word is vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Vulnerable.
Vulnerable means open to emotional risk, exposed to the possibility of being hurt or misunderstood. Having a difficult conversation with someone you love requires vulnerability, making yourself visible before you know how it will land.
Maybe you want to describe how it feels to say something difficult.
You could say, "That felt vulnerable to say, but it needed to be said."
Or maybe you're learning that vulnerability in conversation is a strength, not a weakness.
Then you could say, "I'm learning to be vulnerable with the people who matter to me."
Our next word is accumulate.
Accumulate, accumulate.
Already covered in earlier episodes, returning here because unsaid things accumulate. Each unspoken moment adds a small weight, and over time the accumulation changes the relationship quietly from the inside.
Maybe you've noticed the weight of things that haven't been said.
You could say, "I think some things have been accumulating between us."
Or maybe you're choosing to say something before it builds further.
Then you could say, "I want to say this now before it accumulates."
Our next word is intention.
Intention. Intention.
Intention means what someone meant to do, their purpose behind an action. "I know you didn't mean it this way" separates the other person's intention from the impact their action had.
Maybe you want to be fair to someone while also being honest about the impact of what they did.
You could say, "I know your intention was kind, and the impact was difficult for me."
Or maybe you're trying to open a conversation without blame.
Then you could say, "I'm not questioning your intention. I'm describing what I experienced."
Our next word is impact.
Impact, impact.
Impact means the effect something had, what actually happened as a result, regardless of what was intended. In difficult conversations, leading with impact rather than blame keeps the conversation open.
Maybe you want to name what happened without accusing anyone of wanting it to happen.
You could say, "The impact on me was quite significant, even if that wasn't the intention."
Or maybe you're learning to describe your own experience rather than judge another person's behavior.
Then you could say, "I'm trying to speak about the impact rather than make it about blame."
Our next word is disarm.
Disarm. Disarm.
To disarm means to remove the sense of threat, to make a situation feel safer and less like a conflict. A good opening sentence disarms defensiveness before it has a chance to build.
Maybe you want to start a difficult conversation in a way that doesn't immediately put the other person on guard.
You could say, "I wanted to open gently, to disarm any defensiveness before I said the main thing."
Or maybe you've experienced an opening that didn't disarm and saw what followed.
Then you could say, "The way I opened it made them defensive rather than disarmed."
Our next word is aftermath.
Aftermath, aftermath.
Aftermath means the period and condition following a significant event. The aftermath of a difficult conversation is the time between saying the thing and knowing how it landed, often uncomfortable even when nothing went wrong.
Maybe you're sitting with the discomfort of having said something honest.
You could say, "I'm in the aftermath now, waiting to know how it landed."
Or maybe you're learning to be patient with the aftermath rather than filling it with anxiety.
Then you could say, "I'm trying to sit with the aftermath without panicking."
Our next word is deepen.
Deepen. Deepen.
To deepen means to make something greater or more intense. In relationships, to deepen means to make the connection more real, more honest, more capable of holding difficulty.
Maybe you want to explain why you're choosing to have a difficult conversation rather than avoiding it.
You could say, "I want to say this because I want to deepen this, not damage it."
Or maybe you've experienced a relationship becoming closer after honesty.
Then you could say, "That conversation actually deepened what we have."
And our final word is resolve.
Resolve, resolve.
To resolve means to settle or find a solution. "We don't have to resolve this right now" is a generous close. It removes the pressure of needing everything fixed immediately and makes being heard feel like enough for now.
Maybe you want to end a difficult conversation without demanding an immediate answer.
You could say, "We don't have to resolve this today. I just needed to say it."
Or maybe you're learning that resolution and being heard are different things.
Then you could say, "I'm realizing that being heard matters as much as being resolved."
Beautiful. Today we learned 8 useful words: vulnerable, accumulate, intention, impact, disarm, aftermath, deepen, and resolve.
Try to use one of these words the next time you think about a conversation you've been putting off.
Now let's take a few simple sentences and say them better.
Let's start with a very common one. I just don't bring it up.
The feeling is real. The sentence closes everything down.
You can say, I've been holding this back because I don't want to hurt them.
Or, I keep waiting for the right moment, and I think I've been waiting too long.
That's honest and opens a door.
Here's one. I don't know how to say it.
Very common, very stuck.
You can say, I'm looking for the opening that makes it feel safe to say.
Or, I want to say it well, so I'm still finding the words.
What about this one? You always do this.
The sentence that starts most difficult conversations badly.
A much gentler version is, when this happens, I feel, and I wanted to tell you.
Or, I know this probably wasn't your intention, and I want to talk about the impact.
Here's another. I was hurt.
Simple, true, and worth making more specific. You can say, when that happened, I felt hurt in a way I haven't quite put down yet.
Or, I've been carrying something from that, and I think I need to say it out loud.
One more. I'm scared to say it.
Honest and brave.
A fuller version is, I'm scared this changes something, and I also know not saying it is already changing something.
Or, I'm saying this because I want to deepen this, not because I want to cause difficulty.
That is the heart of today's episode.
The difficult thing, said with care, almost never damages what you're afraid of losing.
It deepens it.
So now we want to hear from you.
Is there something you've been meaning to say to someone you love?
You don't have to tell us what it is. Just tell us, yes, there is. Or, I said it this week. We want to know.
Try to use one word from today's word tour. Vulnerable, accumulate, intention, impact, disarm, aftermath, deepen, or resolve.
Thank you for learning with us today.
Keep practicing. Take care.
And say the difficult thing while you still have gentleness available.
Bye for now.
Bye.